Tea Time with Ty. And this is going to be part 3 of our conspiracy theories. Mine is Disney related.
Yes.
So, this is, I can't really say if this is going to be as cool as everyone else's has been, but this is one I've always kind of, I've liked. So, there have been multiple accounts from Disney World in Florida, Disneyland in California, and other parks that there is actually a ghost, real ghost outside of Haunted Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, if you've been to Haunted Mansion or know of it, when you go in, they have a lot of lighting effects and whatnot so that you basically see ghosts. But this one that's caught on there doesn't look like any of the renderings of those said ghosts that are in the Haunted Mansion. Now, another common thing a lot of people try to do is drop their loved one's ashes in the Haunted Mansion as last request or last wish and things like that. Yeah, it's
I didn't know that was really a thing.
It's a big Disney thing.
It happens. Well, I don't know if Disney's like proud of it, but they
are not.
It happens quite often.
Wow.
Where people try to drop their ashes in either the Haunted Mansion or on Space Mountain has also been one. But I've always thought it was kind of interesting that just maybe not out of Disney magic, but I mean, Disneyland and Disney World have been around for a while. We've seen a lot of things, and one thing that any park, regardless if it's Disney owned or not, has had its fair share of deaths. Some are just complete accidents. Some are, they're all accidents, but that's just some. No, but the way it happens sometimes is just like you wouldn't think it. Like I know there's one that always stuck with me, and I'll actually pull her up here. So, out of total respect for any like living family members, we're only bringing this up as just a point. But back in 1974, there was a girl named Deborah Stone, and she worked at the Disney parks. And at the time, Disney had this. It was a carousel ride, and what was different about it is like you were in a sit-down theater, and the carousel switched basically backgrounds and scenes of different presidential times. So
that's
like
cool.
Washington, Abraham, and all that. Well, it was. But on July 8th, she worked there at that specific ride. But on July 8th, she went missing, and no one could figure out where she was and why. And I don't know if they ever talked about if it was a smell that led them to her, but what happened was she, right as the ride was starting up, she was not paying attention, walked in between the carousel, and then it crushed her.
Oh, wow.
And they found her, and that was, one of the most gruesome deaths that's ever happened. And they shut that ride down entirely. So you don't see it in any parks anymore. They don't talk about it. I couldn't tell you if at the parks like where it is now, or if they just tore it down entirely.
Probably tore it down entirely because
Disney's
real quick about burning stuff.
Yeah.
Down.
I was gonna make a FNAF president.
Right.
Edition.
Yeah.
That's
but so it's, you just wouldn't think it would happen in a place that is like the happiest place on earth.
Exactly.
But there's always been I wouldn't say a joke behind it, but like a calling towards taking this childhood thing, this dream of a park that we can all go to and enjoy these things. But there's always like someone wants to look for the dark side of things. And one of those darker things is people who have been abducted before. Not really a whole lot of successful attempts with that, considering, they not only have the people wearing the mascots like Pluto and whatnot, but they have just regular people that are fully trained to take on situations like that. So then it also takes a step further that they think people have thought that Disney as a whole and the government have had interactions with each other as far as like taking on situations that would avert you from a more serious thing, and Disney coming in and saying, hey, no, come to this instead. But my favorite one has always been these weird occurrences that go on, like, or about the people that try to spread these ashes. And I mean, it's a short conspiracy theory, but I mean, this one has always just stuck to me that you can take something, no matter what, no matter how happy it seems or how nice it seems, there's always something, a darker side to it.
Oh, yeah.
And Disney will always be the light in our eyes, but at the same time, when deaths like that happen, they try to keep it under the rug as much as possible. They come out and apologize, because obviously you can't hide stuff like that. And I'm sure they help the families in any way possible, because it's Disney.
Yeah.
But having to deal with that kind of situation cannot be easy for being like that compared to being like Six Flags or you know, I mean, it's horrifying.
It's such a massive contrast between the happy-go-lucky and then you just have that, oh yeah, and this shit happened. Like this person died.
Yeah.
You know, it goes from like, hey there, Jimbo.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you can't take control of that. And then now this one's not really a conspiracy theory per se, but I do love the fact that the Disneyland World have underground tunnels that lead through everything.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. That was always a talked about thing for a while, and then obviously Disney confirmed it. You know, and when it was first confirmed, it was like, that's so cool. You know, you thought you were diving into something that's like, I want to see what the underground's like. I want to know, you know, what's going on. Yeah, and we'll never get to see it unless we work there. So I thought that's
really
crazy.
cool.
Time to get a job at Disney World.
I know, right? Great benefits.
I mean, actually, during college, I can get like a semester off going to like Disney World.
Yep, and then if you could just like take a camera down to the tunnels for us, and then just stay the night at Haunted Mansion to confirm anything.
Do they? So, are there like any videos or pictures?
Yes.
Really?
So for as far as like the pictures of seeing the dead boy, there are videos of it. I want to show you guys, but most of these are all videos, and they don't load up really well. But we'll have like I'll have a couple of images that can be shown, because they do have so many still images of it. But I've just always thought that was so crazy that for the longest time, until I grew up to be a certain age and find out about all these deaths that go on, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. The island.
Yeah.
Disney
I don't know if they
Island,
called it like the Jungle Swamp or Swamp Island or something. It was swamp related, and they had to shut that part down because there was a deadly algae in the water, and it was like I think it was either I believe it was a skin eating disease that it would basically and it would just really take you out. Yeah. So they had to shut it down, and that's still there because it's so dangerous now that they don't really know what to do with it.
Oh yeah, and the place is so infested with snakes and crap too, so it's just not good.
Yeah, so they have like a lot of security and a lot of like regular dressed people as security around that area to make sure no one just tries to be stupid and jump in.
Is that a World? Because I know World's like in like the swampy area. I've never been.
I believe it was Disneyland.
Land?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But I could be wrong. But it's one of the two, and you just don't think things like that can happen.
No.
I know I've heard about people being their head getting cleaned off in Space Mountain from like beams being down too low when they're swinging.
I've seriously never heard this before.
And they get smoked and it takes their head right off.
Yeah,
so
there is someone.
You want to be short.
Yeah. Well, no, there is someone like a big one. Like the first death was. There are two ones I remember for sure. Was one. He didn't buckle up and he stood up.
That's his own fault then.
And another one was, I think it's like the hotel drop, like the hotel horror drop or whatever, where it like drops you. He accidentally stumbled back on top floor and just fell to his death.
Yep.
Yeah.
God.
That ride is actually located in MGM Studios, if I'm not mistaken, and that was something about the Twilight Zone.
No, this one is
it's the like Hollywood
the Hollywood Hotel or whatever.
Hollywood Hotel, and it was at Disneyland California Park.
Yeah.
And it was I think it was also featured in at least like one of the Universal Studios as well. Sorry, I was trying to look up and see about the decapitation of that guy, but apparently it also happened on the Matterhorn as well.
Really?
Yeah. And then there was, I believe, also an occurrence of a engineer going up to the top of the Matterhorn to fix something, and the car came by, it threw him off balance, and he fell. So obviously, when you're coming up, there's the tracks, and then that space down below, and he fell to his death.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dangerous job.
Mm-hmm.
There's I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean, from that, or even just as someone just going to enjoy Disneyland.
Yeah.
The only one I don't think I've heard anyone dying from yet is It's a Small World. But we never know. Someone could die of just being petrified from
I was
the
gonna
dolls.
say, just from the song itself, I
Yeah.
feel like.
Oh yeah.
Makes their ears bleed, you know. They
exactly.
Blood loss.
No offense, Disney. Please, we love you guys, but oh my god, it's so creepy. It's so
That
creepy.
is super.
Yeah, that doesn't even have to be a theory or anything. It's just terrifying in its own right.
Fact.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, those were my theories.
I like that.
And the two ghost occurrences of many that they've had for the Haunted Mansion. One were both little boys. One in California and the one in Florida.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do some research on
Yeah,
that.
there's a
I've never heard that.
lot of like crazy Disney theories that, I mean, that's just jumping down a whole nother rabbit hole. But there's also videos of people who have worked at Disneyland who tell a bunch of stories, and those are a good listen as well.
Really?
Yeah. I imagine maybe not all of them are true, but at least some of them are, and they're quite interesting.
But yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
gonna do some research on that.
Definitely. I already have it looked
I know, I
up.
see
So
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right, guys, that was it for my theory there. I'm glad you guys could listen to it.
definitely.
It's
It
great.
was awesome.
Absolutely. All right, take it easy, everyone.
See you around.
Bye bye.